Ministers. Welcome. I would like to start this discussion with some positive news in the region and congratulate your neighbor Moldova with electing a pro-European candidate this week as president of the country. Can you comment on the elections from your country's perspective and what it means to the Black Sea region as a whole?
I think, if I may, and I would like to say hello to Dmytro as well, my good colleague and friend, and to you. I think the elections in Moldova showed the fact that there is a very mature society there, and they have made a very good choice, a choice for democratic development, a choice for pro-European values. And I think this is a very good start for the path that Moldova is choosing, the path for having very solid institutions. This is, I think, what the citizens of the Republic of Moldova want. Institutions which are able to solve their direct problems. And I think this is a choice which shows commitment for the future. We are very encouraged by this choice made by the citizens of the Republic of Moldova, because we have always supported the European path of the Republic of Moldova, as we have supported and we continue to support the European and Euro-Atlantic path of Georgia and Ukraine. And I think this is a victory of democracy, of European values, and of European principles. Romania is very much determined to spare no effort in order to support the reform process and the reform program, which the new president of the Republic of Moldova is aiming at. And we are very happy to see this choice. We are very happy that the Romanian president was the first to discuss with the new president-elect of the Republic of Moldova, and happy that very soon my president will pay a visit to the Republic of Moldova in order to, build further this very special relationship that we have, strategic partnership for the European integration of the Republic of Moldova. This is in a nutshell what I want to say. It will be not easy for her, for the new president, to work with the current political class in the Republic of Moldova. But we are very confident in her determination and political will that this will be a successful endeavor.
Minister Kuleba, from Ukraine's perspective?
Yes, good evening, Vera. Good evening, Bogdan. It's good to see both of you. Well, it's hard to add anything to what Bogdan said. As they say in the European Union, I align myself with the previous statement. What I would like to emphasize is that the election of Maia Sandu as president of Moldova is a balancing act for this country. Moldova is a complicated country, and the elections, they balance the political equilibrium and pave the way for opening new pages in cooperation between Moldova and Ukraine. As far as I understand, this also applies to the relations between Moldova and Romania. And of course, there is more than bilateral relations between us. There is the European Union, there is NATO, there is Guam, the organization of 4 countries, Georgia, Ukraine, Moldova, and Azerbaijan. Plenty of things to do, and we look forward to working closely with President Sandu on moving forward.
So we can't speak about the security issues in the region and the Black Sea without bringing up the big bear in the room. So let's move the topic now and speak about Russia and the role of Russia in the region. So Russia's annexation of Crimea has had a profound impact on the military balance in the Black Sea. With the Crimean Peninsula, now Russia holds the second most important geographic location in the sea. And also with its military position in Crimea, South Caucasus, but also Syria, Russia has now developed operational military links between the Black Sea, Eastern Mediterranean, and the Middle East. So is it now time for NATO to start thinking about the Black Sea region as a more strategic zone? And if so, and I would like to hear from both of you, if so, what should NATO be doing to increase its presence and the role in the Black Sea region?
Well, speaking about NATO, if I may start with this answer, well, I think NATO is already very much focusing on the Black Sea. And I think the awareness about the importance of the Black Sea for the security of the North Atlantic Organization and for the transatlantic security in general, I think this understanding is growing. And as far as Romania is concerned, we have constantly promoted the region of the Black Sea on the agenda of the organization. And we have seen from NATO summit to NATO summit this growing importance being reflected in the official documents of the alliance, but also in the measures which were taken for well, showing that this is important for the alliance as a whole. Especially after the illegal annexation of Crimea, NATO has developed a deterrence and defense posture in this region. It was a gradual process tailored to the threat. It was non-provocative. It was in self-defense in accordance with international law. And we have put together a set of measures to strengthen the deterrence on land, on sea, and in the air. And this is how the so-called forward presence was created, with its two components. In the north, the enhanced forward presence. In the south, the tailored forward presence. And we have advocated for a unitary approach to the eastern flank. I think it's important that well, we see the eastern flank as a whole. Russia is seeing the eastern flank as a whole. NATO should see the eastern flank as a whole. And we need this unified and balanced approach of NATO on the whole eastern flank. We are grateful to those NATO allies which already came and well, showed their solidarity and commitment to the deterrence and defense posture of NATO. We have enhanced air policing. We have visits in the Black Sea of Allied Navy. We have troops in our land structure. Well, but still we have a lot to do. Still we have a lot to do in terms of ensuring an effective deterrence, and we are advocating for more allied presence. For instance, in the south of the eastern flank, in the multinational brigade, which is a NATO structure on the territory of Romania. We host it in Craiova. We have already on the ground a Polish military presence there, and we welcome more allies to be there. Well, more affiliated and associated units of allies to be part of this unit. In the NATO headquarters on our territory, because we already have three NATO headquarters on our territory. So we look forward to further allied presence to safeguard our security in this region. We need more monitoring and surveillance of what is happening at sea, because Russia is also increasing its military build-up in Crimea and in Black Sea in general. It's increasing its A2AD capacity in the Black Sea region. We need to deepen our cooperation and support for and with our partners in the region, especially with Ukraine and Georgia. And we are now discussing in the NATO foreign ministers reunion at the beginning of December, a report on the implementation of the famous Black Sea package, which was adopted last year in Washington in the beginning of April. And this is a very good opportunity to see where we are with the implementation of this Black Sea package. So I do hope that we will be able to do more. Romania is committed to support more NATO presence in the region. And I also count on an increased NATO-Ukraine, for instance, cooperation on this aspect. I have discussed this morning with the Georgian foreign minister, and we have discussed a lot about the security in the Black Sea. And my colleague David is also very keen to take part in this meeting with the allied foreign ministers, together with the foreign ministers of Ukraine and Georgia in December.
So, Minister, to follow up on this, and before we move to Mr. Kuleba's answer, so you've mentioned deepening cooperation between Ukraine and Georgia with NATO. It has been 12 years since the Bucharest summit, and NATO has said a number of times that all the criteria have been met and all the homework has been done, and it's only the political decision that is left now for Georgia and Ukraine to join. So who and why who is responsible for this political decision, and why we're not seeing a membership action plan for Georgia and Ukraine?
Well, I think all allies are responsible for this decision, because we take within NATO we take decisions by consensus. As far as Romania is concerned, we are fully supportive of the Euro-Atlantic aspirations of both Ukraine and Georgia. The documents of relevance for NATO still repeat the relevance or restate the relevance of the decisions taken during the NATO summit in Bucharest, and they say that the Bucharest decision is still valid. This is what the official position of NATO is. Of course, this decision, the political decision, is still to be taken. In the meantime, NATO has increased its dialogue with both Georgia and Ukraine. I reiterate my congratulations for Ukraine becoming an enhanced partner of NATO recently, enhanced opportunities partner. There are a lot of tools which are available to both Ukraine and Georgia. The annual national program, the NATO-Ukraine Commission, the NATO-Georgia Commission. We have this substantial NATO-Georgia package, if we speak about Georgia. And I think we also have a comprehensive package for Ukraine. We have NATO trust funds. Romania was in charge of such trust fund on cyber, as far as Ukraine is concerned. We have the NATO-Ukraine platform for countering hybrid warfare. So there are a lot of tools. We have to use them before we have the membership action plan adopted or initiated. There were even some discussions within the alliance, alluring to the fact that we don't even need a membership action plan. We have so many instruments of cooperation between NATO and Georgia, respectively Ukraine. Then we perhaps don't need such a membership action plan as we used to be. We have to evolve at some point.
Minister Kuleba, can you answer to that? Do we need a membership action? Does the Ukraine want a membership action plan? What are your thoughts? Is NATO doing enough in the Black Sea region?
We don't need a membership action plan as long as we have the membership. You know, it's clear. Give me the membership and I will not request a membership action plan. Whatever the road to membership is, it should be clearly defined in terms of the direction, instruments, and deadlines. This is something that is crucial. Otherwise, we will be wandering in the space, doing something which will not result in seeing us reaching the destination point. Absolutely. In this, I'm aware of these discussions taking place in NATO, and Ukraine's answer to it is very simple. If a membership action plan is something that will further facilitate our road to membership, then this is something that should be given to both Ukraine and Georgia. If allies decide that we can achieve the same result within a specific period of time without map, let's discuss it. We should not turn membership action plan into a religion. As far as the situation in the Black Sea concerned, I believe that the answer is simple. The only alternative to the strengthening of NATO's presence in Black Sea is the creeping build-up of Russia in the Black Sea. And we see what Russia is doing in Crimea. It heavily militarizes the illegally occupied peninsula. It disrupts trade routes. It poses serious security threats. So NATO has to demonstrate that it is damn serious about defending the Black Sea and ensuring the safety of navigation and of the overall situation in the Black Sea. Something is already being done, which is good. I believe that one of the founding principles of this strategy should be the maximum possible involvement of Ukraine and Georgia in these efforts, because we are all allies when it comes to the Black Sea, because we all share Black Sea. This is our common space. This is where we are natural allies. So I would welcome any new instruments and ways to strengthen NATO's presence in the region that involve the engagement with Ukraine and Georgia. And I'm glad that Bogdan mentioned the eastern flank. I also sincerely believe that it is in the best interests of NATO, of its eastern flank members, and of Ukraine and Georgia to work collectively. And the famous
I'm going to jump in here because you've mentioned all the big players on the Black Sea, but we keep avoiding one big player, which is Turkey. And Turkey has been more and more active in the region. We have obviously seen the events unfolding between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and the role that Turkey played there. I would like you to comment on the role of Turkey when it comes to the Black Sea security. Romania has, when it comes to NATO, has taken over a lot of the work that Turkey was doing for the region, for the Black Sea region specifically. So I would like to hear from both of you the role of Turkey when it comes to security and work against the annexation of Crimea and aggression of Russia in the region.
As far as Turkey is concerned, in terms of ensuring the security of the Black Sea and at the same time, fulfilling the obligations as an ally, I have no reservation to say that Turkey is a very committed ally for the security of the Black Sea. And I have no reservation in saying that we have a very good cooperation with Turkey in terms of, the affairs of the alliance in general. I know that Turkey has certain reservations regarding a more visible NATO presence in the Black Sea. But this is another thing. I mean, we can discuss about how to, enhance our security in the Black Sea involving Turkey. And for us, Turkey is a strategic partner, not only a NATO ally. I have absolutely no reservation as far as Turkey's firm commitment towards the Washington Treaty, including as far as the situation in the Black Sea is concerned. Turkey, for us, it's a very important strategic partner. We have with Turkey, the largest extra-EU trade, for instance. More than 6 billion euros trade with Turkey is very important for us. Turkey is also a member of the trilateral that we have built together with Poland. We have a security issues trilateral with Poland and Turkey, and we discuss about aspects related to the security in the Black Sea as well. I don't see any kind of different approach of Turkey as far as the illegal annexation of Crimea is concerned. I think Dmytro can confirm this. We have our differences of opinion on how to ensure the security in the Black Sea by involving NATO, but we can discuss within NATO about all these things. For the rest, Turkey is indeed an important player in the region.
Dmytro?
Well, it's boring to be on the same panel with Bogdan because I agree with everything he says, you know.
In the next question, then you can go first so that he can agree to what you said.
That would be a fair strategy for you as moderator. No, but, you know, when I did not mention Turkey for one reason, because in my mindset and in reality, it's a NATO member. And when I say NATO, I, of course, mean including the position of Turkey. We cannot, but I believe it's important for all of us to take Black Sea as our shared responsibility. It doesn't matter how long our coastline, or how powerful our navy, or how big is the trade between us. The Black Sea is our shared responsibility, and we all should be committed to ensuring that the life in the Black Sea thrives.
When we talk about security, we cannot not talk about economic cooperation as well. And Bogdan, you've mentioned economic trade between Romania and Turkey. I've looked at some numbers and I was quite impressed to see that Russia is nowhere close in the top 10 trade partners for Romania, and when you look at import and export. For Ukraine, the picture is quite different. Ukraine's top economic or trade partner still remains Russia. To me, and please correct me if I'm wrong, to me, the biggest issue that I saw was the cannibalization of the media market and seeing the number of Russian oligarchs take over a number of media channels. So how does that play out, especially when it's already in the 7th year? We see the 7th year of aggression from Russia towards Ukraine. So how is this balance can be explained between the economic ties and the security issues? Dmytro?
Well, I have to correct you. I'm really sorry. I don't want to do that. But no, Russia is not our trading partner number one anymore. It's actually China as a single country and the European Union as a common market of all of its member states, which are two our biggest trading partners. And in fact, EU is even larger. And the overall trajectory of Ukrainian trade demonstrates that Russia has no chance to regain its positions in the Ukrainian trade and in the Ukrainian economy. It will be the European Union and China who will be gaining more and more kind of volumes of trade with Ukraine. So the overall impact of Russia on the Ukrainian economy is dramatically declining. When we speak about media landscape, it's complicated, but we do not have Russian oligarchs who possess Ukrainian media. It is true that one person, one rich man in Ukraine who enjoys very loyal relationship with President Putin personally, owns a couple of small news channels, and they actively broadcast certain perceptions and views, which I personally do not share and never appear on them, for example, never give interview to them. But media landscape in Ukraine is pretty diversified, and the best evidence for Ukraine's kind of movement in the right direction is that the number of Ukrainians supporting Ukraine's membership in NATO is increasing, and it's over 50% now, which is a good number if you consider where we started with this image of NATO as an enemy and NATO soldiers eating children for lunch, like the Soviet propaganda was telling everyone. So I believe that the overall dynamics are very positive. We are moving forward, and enhanced opportunity partnership the status that we gained is yet another instrument that also helps us to better communicate NATO in Ukraine, not only for Ukraine to better engage with NATO. So I believe we are on good track, moving in the right direction with the support of France.
I would like to move to a couple of questions that we have from young transatlantic leaders. And the first question comes in from Jerome Bayer from Netherlands at the Academy of Young Diplomats. And Jerome is asking, the Black Sea region has been greatly affected by nuclear smuggling cases since the dissolution of Soviet Union. Political instability and armed conflict further undermine nuclear security. Examples are crisis in Ukraine, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. So how effective can regional solutions be in solving the region-wide security problems? And I would like to add to his question and ask, what is Ukraine and Romania doing currently to cooperate on the security issues between the two countries?
Well, should I go first, or?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so well, it's good that that young leaders are interested in security issues, and especially in such kind of very complex aspects related to nuclear security. Now, I think it's important to underline that the nuclear security issues are being tackled in quite a wide manner, in a global manner, since we are talking about global threats, not only linked necessarily to this region. So this is a matter of concern for everybody now in international relations. There are some important tools that we are using. If you remember the series of nuclear security summits, which were unfolded until 2014, then I would mention, for instance, the International Atomic Energy Agency interest, involvement in these issues. For instance, this February I have co-presided together with Panama an IAEA high-level conference on nuclear security, and this was important because a declaration was adopted by consensus by all member states, 109 foreign ministers and representatives of various countries, which acknowledged the importance of national commitments to strengthen the security globally as far as the nuclear factor is concerned, and the need for international cooperation and assistance to complement national actions in this area. There are also legal norms, which are important and valid in this respect. For instance, the Convention on the Physical Protection of Nuclear Material of 1979. Or the initiatives like the Global Initiative to Combat Nuclear Terrorism, and the Proliferation Security Initiative. So we have a lot of important instruments. We have regional exercises that we are developing together. For instance, regional exercises in the so-called Olympus series, organized also in Romania. So I don't think that we lack or miss such kind of instruments or norms. The framework is there. Now, about the security cooperation between Ukraine and Romania, this is growing. We have recently, before your visit, Dmytro, in Bucharest, we had the visit of your defense minister, who signed an important agreement with the Romanian Ministry of Defense on cooperation on military issues. We do have very good cooperation on security issues, and this is growing.
Now, I'm going to jump in quickly because the time's up and ask a very fast, quick question. What are your expectations of the Biden administration in the Black Sea region? And do you think the area budget has been reduced? Do you think there will be any changes? And what can you envision with the new administration?
Well, I have very positive expectations about this new administration. I think the attention paid to Russia and the region will increase. And I will stop here because the time is up.
Well, when it comes to the nuclear safety in the Black Sea region, I believe that the biggest risk is the presence of nuclear materials in Russia-occupied Crimea. This is the only obvious risk that we have to handle. Otherwise, the system of nuclear control works. And from President Biden and his administration, I believe we all expect one thing. It's the leadership in handling global crises and challenges. And one of them is the security in the Black Sea.
Thank you, ministers.
Well,
thank you.
Very much. Thank you, Minister Aurescu. Thank you, Minister Kuleba. Let me say that personally, I appreciate Minister Kuleba's remark that we don't need any NATO action plan. We just need NATO membership. And let me tell you that here from Warsaw, you have a huge support for Ukraine to join NATO, and we hope that will happen soon. So thank you so much, gentlemen, and thank you, Vera, for joining us for this discussion. A fascinating, also great moderation on your side. We hope to see you soon, this time live in Warsaw. So see you as we go.